Here is an example of one of my websites that, in considering digital accessibility, I will want to redesign a little bit. Why is this an example that might confuse a student? Firstly, there's quite a lot of information about this. My question might be, how does a student get to lecture 3 in this lecture series? And on this website, they have to scroll through quite a lot of information before they get to the place where that lecture is located. Eventually, you find lecture 3 here. The other issue with this is that I have not used Moodle's heading styles in order to make my titles. Instead, I have added emphasis by using bold. While this looks attractive, it will not be easy for a student using a screen reader to navigate their way through this website. Another thing here is that before students can get access to a lot of stuff, they have to click on links. But these links are not necessarily easy to understand, and they don't really tell students a lot about what's going to come out at the end. Instead, it would be better if I were to collect these in a different way. And I'll show you another example of doing this in a little while. Finally, in looking at the actual pages that I have used, you can have a look here. The main issue here, again, is the way that I have done titles. So for instance, this needs to be using one of the heading texts or one of the heading styles within Moodle. Beyond that, it's not so bad because everything is in relatively short paragraphs and there's a clear structure to this page, so the students will be able to find their way through this material. Here is an example of a website that will be easier for a student to navigate. First of all, you can see that all the information can be accessed by just looking at a single frame of this website. You don't have to scroll a lot in order to find the information that you want. The resources for each of the lectures have been collected in a Moodle page activity, which means that students would just have to click on this in order to get the information that they want. Each of those pages have been structured using Moodle heading styles, which again will make it easier for a screen reader to be able to access the information for the user. You can see that it has been arranged in a specific order so that I'll be able to use this same order for all my lectures, which means that the student knows exactly what is expected of them in each of the lecture pages. Here is a link to the PowerPoint slides with a clear description telling them what's going to happen if they click on that link. And also a link to the reading list and other materials on the reading list. I might want to add other links here. For instance, I could add the link to the video recording if I needed to do that. But in general, this should be easily accessible for the students. They will be able to find their way through this information